Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of December. Now, do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you. And a big happy birthday to you, Sagittarius. I hope you are enjoying Sagittarius season, and I hope that it continues to be good for you. But with that said, we'll go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll take a look at what's coming forward for you during this brand new month of December. Okay. Sagittarius, I think it's looking just about good enough to me for right now. All right. Cool. Energy on the bottom. You have the Eight of Swords. All right. So, with the Eight of Swords on the bottom, this could suggest that some of you are feeling like there's something that you have to sort through mentally, like mentally in terms of in your thought, in your head. There's something that you need to sort through, and maybe you're having a hard time doing that right now. Okay, this person's trapped in their thoughts. Each sword represents a thought. You can see they're handcuffed here, they're blindfolded, they're not able to see kind of the way out of something, right? Usually in their thought process, or, what I'm feeling for you, Sagittarius, is there's something mentally that you need to sort through or work through, but right now, maybe prior to this month, you've been having a hard time working through it. Now, here's the good news for you, Sagittarius, and for everyone. We are officially out of retrograde, okay? So retrograde actually ends on the 29th. That is, I believe, when this video is going to be coming out. It'll be coming out on the 29th. So we are officially out of this retrograde period, the final retrograde of the year. And I think that, sometimes when we have these retros, our thought process, it's kind of like we're going backwards, right? And sometimes it can be hard to, think clearly through stuff. Or I think you have an understanding of what I'm saying here. But I think in terms of the energy going into this month of December, we have a clear month ahead. We've got clear skies ahead. We've got some other minor things in the astrology as well, such as like Mercury actually moving into Sagittarius, Neptune's going direct in December. We've got a new moon in Sagittarius. We've got Venus in Capricorn. We've got a lot of things here coming in, kind of more minor things, but we've got a lot of things coming in here. We've got a clean slate here in December, and I think that if you're trying to work through something, that this is going to be a good month for that. Now, you have a really nice reading here. You've got a really nice set of cards here, Sagittarius. Definitely like to see this for you on your birthday month. But let's go and dive in right away. So we do have this moon card as well, which I do believe this is kind of like where I'm getting to this concept or this idea that something right now is not immediately clear. As you roll into this month of December, something's not immediately clear to you, which is definitely encapsulated in the moon card. This can be anything that you're having a hard time seeing. This can represent fear and anxiety of the unknown, or just fear and anxiety generally. Usually when you get the moon, the idea is that you need to achieve clarity around something, okay? And it's sort of like a double whammy, you could say, when you get the moon and the Eight of Swords. Okay, so for me, it's more so showing up here in your mind. Now, as I think about this here, this could be connected to a relationship for some of you here, as you have the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. For others, there may be uncertainty around job situations here for you. That seems to be on the upswing. Okay, that seems to be improving the career side of things. Here based on this reading, but let's get some more details on this. Now, in the first column, you have the Page of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Strength card. All right, so Page of Swords here, this is a retrograde card. This isn't about a retrograde. This reading's not about retro, it's about the month of December. But it is, when you get the Page of Swords, there may be some delays that you are experiencing or thinking about even. It can mean that there are some difficult conversations as well that need to be had when you get the Page of Swords. But if there's anything that you have to do in terms of like logic, okay, any sort of like logic problem, anything that you need to sort of like logically put together or piece out or part through, the Page of Swords may suggest that you're going to find the right way to solve that problem, because the Page of Swords is very good at logic, okay? When you think about the Page of Swords, this is somebody who's more on the IQ side, not the EQ, right? Not the emotional quotient, but the IQ, the, working through logic, issues of logic. So if there's something that you need to sort of like plan out, this is a good sign, okay, in December to get this Page of Swords. Now, this may be connected to business and career. There may be something that you need to work through, process through logically, using your intellect here in December. That could be kind of important because you have this King of Wands with the Page of Swords, all right? And the King of Wands is a leader in business, okay? This is a good card to find for career matters, for career issues, especially for the self-employed. The King of Wands is really an entrepreneur in the tarot. This is somebody who's passionate about what they do. They're passionate about their work. I think if there's something that you're trying to process or part through connected to work and career stuff, this is a good way to start this reading off, okay? It's a good way to start this month off here with the King of Wands and the Page of Swords. You then here have the Strength card, which connects to the idea of bravery, okay? Bravery, doing difficult things, working through challenges, working through problems. The Strength card, you can see here, this person has tamed the lion. That is not an easy thing to do. If there's something, I have a feeling here at the beginning of December that there's something that you have to do that's a bit challenging, okay? It's a bit difficult. It's going to require a lot of you, a lot of you, all right? It's going to require a lot of yourself, okay, to work through this problem. I think that this may be connected to career for some, and I think this may be connected to relationship for some. We'll see if there are other timelines here as well. Just know that there may be some hiccups or delays in this process, but I see that you are working through this issue, okay, with the Page of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Strength card, and it may be one of these things where you have to kind of dive deep, dig deep from within and just get over the finish line, cross over the finish line, jump over the hurdle, so to speak, here with the Strength card showing up here. All right, this may indicate that you're ready to you're ready to be brave, you're ready to do hard things, particularly as it relates to your career here with this King of Wands. All right, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are having some. Now, this is not meant to like scare you or anything, just some difficult conversations, okay? Some conversations that need to be had, right? And this is ultimately going to be pretty beneficial for you here as I'm thinking about this reading, right? As I'm looking at the other cards. So, in the middle, you have the Lovers, the Moon, and the Knight of Cups. All right, so here's the kind of meat and potatoes right now of the reading. And that is this dilemma that I think some of you are having, okay? I think some of you are having a bit of a dilemma here, all right? Now, this is not earth-shattering. This is not something that's going to ruin your month, but there are facts that need to be acquired, okay, in a situation, okay? With the Moon and the Eight of Swords, up to this point, you have not exactly had all of the answers. And that's okay, because in life, we can't always have the answer to everything, Sometimes we just kind of have to figure it out as we go along, right? But there is something that you are needing to sort through here, okay? And it's not exactly obvious, okay? Like the answer is not exactly going to smack you in the face, right? It's not going to exactly show up on the front door, right? Like there's something that you need to discover here as I'm looking at this reading with the Moon and the Eight of Swords, right? And I get a sense here, Sagittarius, that up to this point, prior to this month here, you've been searching and you haven't found it, right? Now, if that is resonating with you, there's something really beautiful here showing up in the future for you, okay? And we'll get into that. But up to this point, you've been searching and you haven't found it. And I think one of the pieces of advice or guidance that I would give you is that have you been in your head too much? Have you been in your head too much? you know? With the moon in the Eight of Swords, do you need to take a step back? You know, I'll just share this. Like, many of you, maybe you'll relate to this, maybe you won't, but like when I was in my first career, as a web developer, like I was okay. I was an okay programmer, right? Like I was okay, but I wasn't like a brilliant programmer or whatever. And there were times where I faced a problem. Like it was like a logic problem or like, a coding problem, and I just could not figure it out. And I knew that there was something that I was missing. And every single time, it turned out that I was in my head. Okay? So what I ended up doing was I just took a step back. I removed myself from the problem, right? I took a day, a couple days, whatever it was. And then when I came back, I'd always find the answer, like pretty quickly. And so I bring that up to say, are you in your head a little bit about this problem? Maybe it's around relationships, love. It may be for some. Okay, there may be a relationship thing going on here. But can you step back from it for a minute? Maybe for a couple days, whatever the case may be. Can you remove yourself from the situation for a bit? Because I think that you'll come back into this situation with some better clarity, and you'll probably have the exact answer that you're looking for. Okay? So if you're spending like a portion of a day or, the week, whatever, thinking about this like problem that you need to solve or this answer that you need to have, take a break. Like take a minute. The Lovers, it represents a choice that you may need to make either in love or in life, an important choice. And this is why I'm saying that I think you need an answer to something. And then the Knight of Cups, it does represent an event in usually your relationship or in love. Now, this can also just generally refer to some happiness as well that is wanting to arrive into your life. This can also refer to courtship, right? This can mean that somebody's interested in you romantically if you're single, or as you have the Page of Wands next to it, somebody's interested in you broadly, like hiring you, right? In a non-romantic way. Somebody's courting you in a certain way, right? Now, in the final column, you have the Four of Wands, the Sun, and the Page of Wands. All right, so the Four of Wands, this represents marriage. It represents ceremony, celebration, stability. It's a very good card, right? Some of you have a question of marriage here that you're maybe trying to sort through or piece through, whether you're currently married or you're thinking about somebody that you would like to marry, or you're thinking about going to that level with a person, something like this. Some of you may be thinking about this topic here in the future. There's like an answer that you need to get around that issue. We're going to try to get clarity on all of this in just a moment. But yeah, something about that, but this topic of like long-term relationship. But I also think that some of you here, there's a question of like stability, right? And this may connect to your home or the place that you're like the dwelling, so to speak, that you're living within, like your home environment. The place that you maybe rent or purchase or own, place that you're residing. Like there may be some question around stability here that you're also looking to answer if the relationship stuff is not connecting for you, okay? That could also be the case. Now, the Sun is the best card in the tarot. I love this. It follows the Moon, all right? So the Moon is 18, the Sun is 19. And this is why I said there's something beautiful for you in this last column here, because the Sun brings clarity to whatever was unclear in the Moon, okay? So the Moon is foggy, it's hazy, it's there, it lacks clarity, you can't see. The Sun exposes the truth that you need to see. Everything's out in the open, bright, you can see it. That's the idea of the Sun, right? It's exposed, it's open, it's available. The Sun exposes a truth. It exposes what you need to see that you couldn't see in the Moon card. So this is the exact combination of cards that I would like to see for you, Sagittarius. And the Page of Wands is usually an offer, usually a job offer or some sort of career offer, but it could be any offer that really excites you, in life. This is usually very good. So I love that. Let's go ahead and let's move into the clarifications portion of this reading here. Sagittarius, I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards, and then I'll also pull some tarot cards. All right, so why don't we go ahead and take those. Energy on the bottom, you have Daniel. Divine discernments. Trust in the messages within. They are divinely guided. Okay, so if you take a moment to step back, step away from this situation that you're trying to find an answer to, maybe you'll open up some space for you to listen, and hear what's trying to come from within at this time. You have Amethyst, Metamorphosis. You are in a vortex of detransformation. Surrender to the process that's unfolding. You then here have Raguel, Waves of Healing. Be open and vulnerable, as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. Okay, be open and vulnerable, I think, is a pretty wise piece of advice for somebody in this Moon, Eight of Swords phase right now, right? Then you have Michael, Spiritual Acceleration. You're experiencing spiritual upgrades, move forward. You then here have Gabriel, Divine Emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your powers and gifts. Okay, so I do think that some of you are wanting to disconnect a little bit, but that's not going to be forever, okay? Like, some of you are going to take a moment, disconnect. Some of you may need to just I just get a sense that some of you need to take a moment and disconnect, but as you have this idea of divine emergence, it's not going to be forever, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look here at the tarot clarifications for you here, Sagittarius. Now, do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Do hope things are going well for you, and I do hope, once again, that you will enjoy this Sagittarius season. I am a Sagittarius rising, so I always love this part of the year as well. All right. You've got the Seven of Swords. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Do we get another 7? We do not. We get an 8. You have the 8 of Pentacles. Close. All right. So we've got a few 8s here, actually. We have the 8 Major Arcana, which is the Strength card. Now we have the 8 of Pentacles as well. And then we have the 8 of Swords. So we actually do have an angel number there. We have 888 coming forward for you. I'd be on the lookout for that. That's probably a confirmation that, whatever you're thinking about or whatever you're kind of doing, it probably means you're on the right path. But usually when I think about 888, that's actually a number of abundance, 888, because if you take the number 8 and you flip it on its side, it's actually an infinity symbol. And 8 is a number associated with wealth and abundance, and also power, right? Power, which is why I believe, at least, this is just my belief, that the Strength card is number 8, right? And the Strength card is associated with power. Anyway, let's just talk about this 8 of Pentacles, which is connected to hard work and dedication in the tarot, right? This person is very, very dedicated to completing their task, right? As you see here, they're completing a project. Their other projects are on the post. Usually when you get this here, you're kind of grinding away at work. Like you're working towards something that that you feel very, very, very dedicated to. And this is usually a good sign in career situations. It can be connected to promotions. I do like that you have the Page of Wands here in the future, as you have the 8 of Pentacles here and the Page of Wands. But this is all going to be derived from what you're putting into the job or what you're putting into the project, right? Like, there's a direct connection there in this case. Okay, so I do see that there's something you're working through or sorting through, as I said, here. And there's a little bit of like this Seven of Swords. This is a card of deception, but sometimes it can be self-sabotage, okay? And I'm not getting a negative vibe from someone in this reading, okay? I'm just not getting that. So in this case with the Seven of Swords, it is either towards you, okay? There's something here that, like, again, I think you need to get out of your head a little bit, to be totally blunt and honest with you. But then also, with the Seven of Swords, this is about strategy. And I was talking about that even more so at the beginning of this reading here, when I was looking at that Page of Swords, something that you need to piece through or part through in career. Well, this person had to have a strategy to steal the swords, right? So this is about maybe taking a risk, a calculated risk, making a strategy. So I think that this is all applying, okay? And then you also here have the Seven of Pentacles, which can be around your long-range or long-term money goals, money plans as well. But it's anything that is long-term. It's also the contemplation of that here, as you see this person thinking about the harvest. So let's see what else we have. You have the Nine of Cups, amazing. You have the Six of Pentacles, and you have the King of Wands again. Okay, I see an opportunity forming somewhere for you. I do. As you have the double King of Wands and the Page of Wands, we actually have double pages. Pages usually are messengers or opportunities or offers in the tarot. But I see an opportunity emerging or forming for you in December, okay? I love the double King of Wands. I always think of Sagittarius when I think of the King of Wands. It could be any fire sign in reality, but I always think of Sagittarius with that card. And some of you here are craving or desiring, I think is probably the word, something new in life, right? Like something new. Even though we don't have aces, we don't have the Fool, you're craving or desiring, like you want to feel something new. Like it's the feeling of feeling something new, right? The King of Wands is somebody who loves excitement, right? And, you know, while they are a leader in business, they also like to take some risks, some healthy risk as well. They crave excitement in life. In love, it can be a playboy, the King of Wands, okay, or playgirl, because I try to I don't attach genders to the cards. Let's just say somebody who likes to get around, okay? King of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, could be any, right, any of those cards. And that's I don't know if that's connecting with you. We do have this here with the we do have this here with the Knight of Cups, which it does connect to love events. In this case, maybe exciting situations in your love life as well. But I see that more so that there's like a proposal or an offer, an opportunity emerging for you. You've got the Six of Pentacles here as well, which can indicate some like financial balancing or generosity or giving back. Here in the middle, I think for you it more connects to financial balancing. Okay, there may be a question of generosity as well. Like, are you giving too much in a situation? Does there need to be some equilibrium there? And then the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfilled or a wish granted in the tarot, especially with the Lover's card around this choice. I like this. Okay, I like this for you. Let's see what else we have here. You have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords, and you also have the Nine of Wands. All right, so with the Nine of Wands, this is somebody who's a bit timid, shy, potentially reserved, but the better way that I think that I like to look at it is the Nine of Wands. The reason they're timid or shy, reserved, is because, as you see their expression here, they're so close to finishing something, they're so close to completing something, but something's holding them back, right? They could just cross the finish line, but something's holding them back, right? As you look at that Nine of Wands. But the better way, I think, is like, usually things are getting a bit hard when you get the Nine of Wands. Like, things are getting a bit challenging, okay? And it means that you're like in that last 5% stage of something. You're 95% of the way through a task or whatever it is, you know, something in life, a goal in life. And you're in that last stage, and yeah, like this is the important stage, right? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know that old phrase, like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like you're very close, okay? Don't throw in the towel yet. Don't throw everything away because you've already progressed through something in a major way, okay? As you have the Nine of Wands here. So this is an opportunity for you to sort of dig in and finish something, right? Now you have this here with the Nine of Wands. What this may indicate is that there is a job offer. There's some sort of exciting offer that wants to emerge and come forward for you, but you're like, I don't know. You're like, I don't know, right? You're a little bit reserved. You know, you're a little bit reserved. You have this here with the Six of Swords, which represents transitions and, you know, different phases in life. And you have it with the sun. This is pretty favorable for you, for those of you who are thinking about making a transition, either in career or employment or in relationship or in life generally. This is showing up as pretty favorable for you during this month with the Sun card and the Six of Swords, okay? And with the Queen of Pentacles, this is somebody who is saving, this is somebody who's budgeting, somebody who's planning, somebody who's really wise and smart with and practical with money. When you get this Queen of Pentacles card and the Four of Wands, this is connected to your home living space or something connected to stability. Sagittarius, you have a really great reading here. There are some things that you are wanting to sort through during this month, and I think it's connected to like it's taking a step back, taking a step back. You do have the Two of Pentacles on the bottom. There may be some financial changes here. I would say as I look at this, I don't see loss. Okay, I don't see loss. So when you think about the Two of Pentacles, it could be gain or loss, up or down. I don't see loss here. Okay. What I see is that this month is literally there's a direct connection to your input. How much are you putting in, right? That's what I see for this month of December for you. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's take a look at the Kipper cards. All right, you have House, Great Fortune. Wow, there's a living situation showing up here. Poverty, change, journey, and unexpected income. Yeah, there is absolutely a question. You know what? For some of you here, if you're still watching, like, none of this is about maybe for some, none of this is about like relationship stuff, and this is about like where am I dwelling? Like where am I living? Where am I living in the world? In my town or city. Something like this here. Some of you are maybe thinking about making a purchase, as you have House and Great Fortune, and maybe like making an investment. This change card is a move card, okay? Like the bags are packed, car's ready to go. They're moving out of this apartment into a new one, right? That's the idea of the change card. It's literally the biggest indicator of a change in residence, and you have House above it. Journey is trips and travel as well. Let's get here. But we do have this poverty card. There's something that like, maybe if you're buying a house, like, you're realizing that that's like a big sacrifice financially to make. Okay, because again, I don't see loss here. I do see unexpected income. Some of you are in line for a bonus or a pay bump here or a promotion. Then, yeah, some of you are. You're in line for that. Again, this idea of toil and labor, it's directly connected to your input. Like how much, like what are you putting into your job or your career? Like what is the effort here that you're putting into something? Courthouse doesn't make sense to me. I didn't really get legal stuff here. There may be something you're signing off on as I look at the document. On the bottom, you have sudden wealth. Well, so there's an opportunity to get a little lucky here. Wouldn't go crazy, but Sagittarius, amazing reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.